American Freedom Fund is empowering veterans through athletics, education, and advocacy. Some of our programs include Patriot Softball, Patriot Shooting Team, Red Friday Socials, and the biggest DC holiday party, Manhattan's Martinis and Mistletoe. For your chance to donate and learn more information about American Freedom Fund, go to AmericanFreedomFund.org.
I'm Don Bramer, the founder and chairman of the American Freedom Front and also Manhattan's Martinis and Mistletoe Veterans Award Gala. AFF is an organization that stands for athletics, advocacy, and education. The part of that is when people separate from the military, they come back from deployment, they lose their sense of belonging, they lose their sense of tribe. What we do is create events and opportunities to bring tribe together, find a new community, a new place to call home, where everyone is included, everyone is welcome.
Welcome to Homefront Sit Rep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Homefront Sit Rep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome everybody to a Monday edition of Homefront Sit Rep. How is everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's had a good weekend. Super Bowl Sunday, you were safe, and whatever team you voted for to win or betted on won. Unfortunately, I was pulling for the 49ers, and they didn't pull it out. So maybe next year, we'll see. They got a new quarterback with Brock Purdy, and he pretty much sealed his fate. What's going to happen with him? He's probably going to get a big old contract next year, hopefully. So, but anyway, you're in for a great show. We've had Don Bramer on before with American Freedom Fund, but we're going to bring in Don Bramer and Miss Liv Stecker, who is the new executive director and not founder, but yeah, we'll bring him on. I don't know exactly your title, so we'll have to ask you. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, what's up, David? Happy
Thanks.
to be back.
How was your weekend?
It was
Very
good.
good. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a game yesterday. I was out playing with my horses, so sorry to say.
Hey, well,
Uh,
I'd rather be playing with horses than watching football. So at least you had a good time.
That's
So
right.
Liv, so everybody knows Dawn, DB up there. Let's introduce Miss Liv Stecker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody knows Donnie's kind of a celebrity. I'm Liv Stecker. I am the recently appointed executive director for American Freedom Fund. I'm not a founder, one of the founders, but I've been with them since, I think 2016 or 17, Dawn, that I came on board. And it was kind of an interesting evolution. We can kind of get into that, but yeah, I've been with American Freedom Fund for quite a while now, and I spearheaded the Patriot shooting team, long range rifle team out in the Pacific Northwest. So that's kind of where I started.
And I like to say that you were either ordained or anointed as executive director.
Anointed.
Yes.
Anointed sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I like ordained. I think I like ordained.
All right. We'll go with ordained. We can do that. So now tell us a little bit about your history, military history /
all of it.
Whatever you want to share.
I am not a veteran, actually. I did not serve. I always wanted to. Growing up, I was going to be in the Navy. I remember my 8th birthday party. I was wearing this little sailor suit, and I was like, that was my trajectory. But life had different plans for me, so I never did get to do that. My little brother, who was one of the co-founders for the American Freedom Fund, Gabe Stecker, actually ended up kind of living my dream. He went into the Navy and even became a linguist, which was the path I was on. I tested for all of that and was in process, but so I had to live vicariously through him. But I've always had a passion for the military and military history, but also, active duty service members all the time from middle school on. That's just been kind of a burn that I had. So as I kind of got through raising my kids and everything, I started looking for a way to integrate back into the military community, the veteran community. I have a lot of family members, my dad, both of my brothers, 2 of my brothers, a bunch of other really close friends that were serving. And I wanted to know how to kind of get involved in a meaningful way, and started raising money. At the time I was working at a brewery, started raising money to send veterans that I knew that wanted to shoot, maybe because of their family or work situations couldn't come up with the resources to go to these matches. I just put a jar out at the brewery where I was working and had people kind of, throw a few bucks in here and there, and raised enough money to start sending guys to these matches. And so then I started down the road of, well, maybe I should make this a nonprofit and get it more organized. And that's when Dawn and Gabe had started. They were about a year into the American Freedom Fund, and it really fell right under the umbrella of their mission. So Gabe was like, let's not reinvent the wheel. Why don't you just come on board with us and just be a branch of what we're already doing? And the rest is history.
No, I love it. I wish I had some more video of the shooting team. There's a buttload of pictures out there and stuff like that. So how did you get into shooting? How did you get into that?
This is an interesting conversation. I feel a little bit like what's that, imposter syndrome. So I'm neither a vet, and I'm also not a shooter. I have not ever been much of a shooter. I jumped into this a little bit cold turkey, and when I started raising money, then I started going to the shoots with the guys, and I have just been completely in over my head the last, what year is it, 24? So about 8 years, learning as I go. Started going to SHOT Show to try to kind of meet people and pick up sponsors to help cover some of our big expenses. And man, it has been a learning curve. But one of the biggest things that I've learned is that the shooting community is such an incredible community of people. There are so many, especially long range rifle. That's where I've had most of my experience. And the match directors and the competitors are just so supportive of each other, veteran or not. It's just this very inclusive community. They love to see new shooters out there. They love to see people who are interested in the sport. And I think because it is in some ways, in some sectors of society, demonized. And so any exposure they can get that's positive, they're all about, bringing new people in and raising people up. So I had to learn a lot. It's been a pretty steep learning curve, but it's been awesome. And I don't know why it was shooting that that I picked. I think there was an event going on near where I lived that a couple of former Army Rangers were putting on, and I got to know them and kind of just got swept along, and it just snowballed. And man, I love it.
Right.
I'm so thankful. It's just like one thing led to another, and now, you
Yeah,
know,
those shooting events, they will like if you go out and you watch one, you can get sucked in, especially if they're shooting at 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
oh yeah,
And just to know that there's so many different factors in there between windage and elevation and humidity and everything else. And here they are, 1.5 miles hitting a target. It will
it's
draw
it's
you in quickly.
absolutely a science, and it really it's been fascinating. And what's so awesome about the program we have is these veterans that come and shoot with us. They have to bring to the table their own gear. We don't provide that, so their rifles. So they're invested in this sport and they love it. And I mean, these are guys who have various disability ratings up and down the scale, and they'll go out on these 2-day shoots where they're in some rugged terrain, and they're hucking this stuff across miles and miles. And at the end of the weekend, they are beat up and they're sore, but every last one of them is like, it's just so worth it to them. And that's what's, I think, just rewarding for us, is like to be able to help support that and make it possible for them to keep doing something they love and perfect that science and get better and better. And it's so great. And then bring new people on, new veterans on board, and watch them mentor each other and build those bonds. And it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, I mean that camaraderie, like Don can tell you, the camaraderie that veterans have, and that just it's not limited to just veterans. Because like if you get involved with an organization, you're a patriot, and you've never been in the military, but you get involved and you're out helping taking care of veterans, doing this or doing that, you build that camaraderie with them, and it's an unbreakable bond. And with shooting guns, I love shooting guns. My buddy Al Hero down here from Triple Threat Vets, he's like, guns don't kill people, Marines do. He's probably right on that. Um, but he's Navy, so he don't know nothing about
Well,
that.
I guess today that we can, I can make a comment that's non-PC, so I'm going to refrain, especially after what happened in Texas today. So never mind.
Yeah, yeah. Let's. Yeah. So
Hey, I want to tell Alberto, one of my very first pictures is about a 5-year-old. I have a little sailor suit too. Seeing it comment there. So yeah.
but Al still wears his.
I applaud him if it still fits.
We give him all kinds of grief just because he's a goofball anyway, and he pretty much speaks his mind when he's talking. But he's amazing. Liv, you will love Triple Threat Vet podcast when they have you on, because I'm sure Al's going to be reaching out to have you on their show. And it's 3 sailors and 1 Army dude. So and it's be warned of the hot seat. I will tell you that. Be warned of the hot seat. Luckily, you won't have that with me. But when you go on Triple Threat, they will have the hot seat. And Al, he has no filter. Just so you know, he's got
All
no
good. It's all good.
It's just
No.
my speed. I'm ready.
But no, Triple Threat's a good podcast. And then, like I was telling you earlier before we came on, the tip of the spear that we do with all the other veteran podcasters, and it's slowly growing. We're adding, veteran podcasters slowly, but we're getting there, and it's actually going to be a pretty cool thing once it's said and done, because like if I'm not able to make it, somebody else will jump in and take my place, or Triple Threat can't make it, then somebody, so forth. Hopefully we'll get about 10, 15 different veteran podcasters that can take turns and run with it, because it's actually a pretty good show. So so you just started January of this year as the executive director. So what do you have lined up for 2024 for American Freedom Fund?
Well, a lot actually. I'm excited. We definitely faced some setbacks when we went through COVID, and there was, we lost a few of our programs, or they at least diminished. And I think that we're finally getting our feet back under us to the point where we can move ahead and start to either regrow or even branch out in some new directions, which I'm really excited about. It's a little bit of a challenge for me. The shooting team has always been my baby, and so to kind of shift focus from just that and look at everything else in the bigger picture. But I'm really excited to We've been dabbling with golf, and so looking at expanding the golf program. We've been talking about launching some esports uh, kind of stuff things, so a branch of that perhaps. And but then we also get to have our first shooting match on the range this May, which it's been 5 years since we have been able to do that, and that's
Man.
just huge. That's a big thing to get back out on the range for one of our own sponsored shooting matches. The guys have been competing this whole time at other matches, but we'll have our own, which is a big deal. So I'm very
So
excited about that. And oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to ask you about the esport. When you're talking about that, you're talking about like gaming online and stuff
Yes.
like
Yep.
that.
Yep. That's a big thing for vets, especially younger vets that are, just separating from service. This is really their lifestyle. And you talk about isolation, and that's something that, easily you could go down this path of isolation. But what I've learned is you talk to these guys, and so sometimes that's the only contact they have is if they're doing this live interactive gaming online. And so if we can kind of channel some of that energy into connecting them with other vets that are playing the same games, they're on the same platforms, and some of them are highly competitive and really um, it's much bigger than I realized, because it's a little, I guess I'm a little older than that, but it's exciting to think about getting them all connected and watching them kind of build that network.
Yeah, there is a big gaming community out there for veterans. I know at least of 3 or 4 disabled veterans that get paid to play Call of Duty. That's what they do, and then they raise money for a charity of their choice. So I think when you guys start dabbling into that, you will find that there's a plethora of veterans out there that are gaming that could probably come alongside and maybe help you, set the program up for success instead of failure. So I definitely look in the community out there because they're out there.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of the model we've used in the past, is kind of finding those mentors that have been doing the specific activities. And I know it's not just shooting, but in these other things, I think Don's doing some of that with the equestrian. But you find kind of more experienced athletes and pair them up with vets who are just separating from service or whatever, and integrate. But yeah, for sure, it's huge.
It was interesting, when we were down range, David, like a lot of the team guys that I was deployed with, they built us a gaming room. So it was a way for people down range to connect with people back home. Is we would play Halo and play
Yeah.
Halo for hours, and
Yeah.
we were on different time zones, but it was amazing. Like, they built this room, and it had couches and stadium seating, and we'd all go in there and play Halo until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, and that also builds that camaraderie too, because like when you get out of the military service and you've played with your buddies your whole time in, well, on whatever platform you play, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, you still got that community already there, so you don't really lose touch with the people that you served with. So for me, I got out in the first time in '01, and then I got out the second time in '04. Um, Gaming systems were out there, but they weren't like they are now.
Right.
I mean, the community is just, much broader. And like I play Call of Duty, like I do it on my phone. I got the Call of Duty mobile on my phone, and I built a network on there of people that I, play with randomly or I play with all the time. And I love it just for simple fact that, I might be talking to somebody in Australia or it might be somebody in Timbuktu somewhere. And just building that camaraderie and having somebody to talk to that's not a family member or just some random strange. Well, they are random strangers for the most part at first, but it does. There is a sense of therapy there when you're able to connect with people in different walks of life. So I think that'd be pretty neat when you guys get that up and running. And I'll definitely check into that because like I said, I play Call of Duty on my phone all the time, so I think that'd be pretty neat. I think Al does a little bit of gaming too. I think, but I'm not for sure. So you got your first big shooting match coming up. That first time in a long time. That's I, I'd like to be there for that. My dogs are barking. Hopefully, y'all didn't hear that. I think somebody knocked on the door. Um, so I do apologize. So you got Where is that going to be at the shooting match? Where is that going to be
That's
located?
in Washington State. It's outside of Spokane, Washington, so Eastern Washington. And we're excited. I was just actually talking to some of the sponsors today, and we're planning it a little bit different than some of the other matches. It's not part of a series. So in long range shooting, there's precision rifle series and the Rifleman's Team Challenge and different series that shooters can collect points and work towards regional and state and national awards and things. This is a standalone match, so the points don't really go to anything. There will be cash prizes and rankings for different, military, veteran, law enforcement, different types of shooters, female, juvenile, whatever, because it's open to everyone. But we're also building a whole kind of side of it that's going to be kind of a veteran resource networking event. And we have a bunch of our local nonprofits coming in that'll have kind of some stuff set up. We'll have some veteran-owned businesses that are stepping up as sponsors that'll also be there with their products to showcase. And it's just going to be I think a really awesome day of networking. And so all these vets that come in to shoot with us, we can also introduce them to the resources in their area and other vets who are shooting, and kind of just hopefully expose them to some of those connections maybe they don't have yet. I think it's going to be a great day, and it's in May, on May 11th of this year.
Nice. Now, I had an interviewed the other day. I haven't had him on the podcast yet, but I did on my meet and greet. It was a guy from an organization called Warriors to Racers.
Oh.
And what that is it's endurance automobile racing. So it's an 8-hour race, and it's all veteran ran from the driver all the way down to the last man on the pit crew.
Oh, wow.
And there's actually a couple different ones like Warrior Racers, and then there was another one that was also a veteran ran organization as well. What they're trying to do is come together and build like a coalition kind of sort of with adrenaline. So it's not just racing, but it's also snowboarding, skiing, parasailing, and just a little bit of everything. So I think that would
That's
be
awesome.
David, do they do jumping as far as skydiving?
They do some. He doesn't, but there's other organizations out there that do. And I can provide you that information once we get off here.
Yeah. So two of the things, I mean, so I've been interested in a skydiving group, but so we have the equestrian stuff at Liv said back here in Virginia. And while we do equine therapy and polo, we've been trying to organize a trip with another similar organization where we can take a lot of our vets out west to do for lack of a word, a dude ranch weekend or something like that. So, there's a way that we can partner up on something like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So we got a question for you, Miss Liv. I think you answered it. He must just not have heard you. It says, do you provide the weapons, or do the veterans bring their own system?
Yeah, so that's different states are different, but because we started in Washington, we have a lot more stringent gun laws than some places. So we talked a lot about whether we could own, rifles that we could loan out to the vets to come and shoot. And it just was very, very sticky where we live. And I think Virginia is also kind of the same way. And a few other states, there's some places where it wouldn't be an issue, but it also was a way for us to, really, there's probably a lot of vets who are interested in shooting, but it's a very expensive sport. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this, is because it's a formidable cost if you don't have a little bit of offset. So they bring their own firearms, they bring their rifles, their scopes. We have had some gear donated in the form of, some glass. So some scopes have been donated. Swamp Fox Optics has been awesome. They provided us with a bunch of pieces. And then like shooting bags and gear like that we've had donated, and we'll give that out to the shooters. But they bring their own firearm because they have to legally own it. We would have to create our own FFL in order to hold those guns. And even then it's tricky with transfers in Washington State. So we did just partner with a gun shop in Spokane, and we are working on being able to have a couple of loaner rifles that we could kind of use for if there's vets that aren't sure they want to get into it and want to do a test run. We'd be able to go out to the range with them. They can use these rifles, try a couple different ones, see what they like, see if it's going to be a good fit, and then they can decide whether they're going to invest or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of long range rifle or long range rifle ranges out there to be able to host events like that. And if it is a long range, then there's not a like a facility on site, like a like a pistol range on site with the rifles and stuff in store. So yeah, you pretty much have to bring your own, I would assume. So
Now,
um,
but to counter that, when we've done our clay shoots live, like in Maryland, Virginia, you can lease shotguns at the ranges.
Yep.
So when we did our clay shoot in Maryland, and then we've done one in Virginia, you could lease the shotguns.
Yep.
okay. And then you also got to worry about the legal liability. If they're out there with one of your guns, and say they blow a finger off or the barrel blows up in their face.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to worry about the legal liability for that as well. So
And that's where partnering with, ranges and match directors and organizations that kind of have that already built into the program, and kind of partnering with them so they can provide some of that. And then we bring some of the other logistical pieces is really a nice combination. And so we're always looking for ranges that facilitate that kind of thing to work with.
nice. Now, what about the Patriot Outdoors program that AFF has? Whitewater rafting and stuff like that. How's that program going, and so forth?
So that's a good question, and that's one of the programs that's had a little trouble coming back, just because so many people that we were working with have moved away, moved on, and so we've been trying to find a new cadre to bring it back. And COVID was tough on a lot of our programs. Softball, we had our hits there. It's slowly on the men. Our Florida softball program is really just kicking butt right now, especially our female team and our co-ed team. And then also, as Liv said, the golf program, and now we've partnered with Military Equestrian Foundation, and we're kicking off our equestrian programs. Would love to revamp the outdoor side. It's just bringing folks back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one definitely took a heavy hit with COVID. And I think with all of these programs, and this is something we've talked about quite a bit, but it's that person that steps up to spearhead and says, yeah, I'm passionate about this. I want to, kind of keep this going. That's what I've been for the shooting team for several years, is kind of the cat herder. I track match schedules and kind of keep tabs on that kind of thing. And if you don't have somebody that's in that position, which is what we lost with our outdoors program, there was someone that was kind of on top of that, and they moved on. So it's finding the next person to kind of step up and be like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to get out there and do the rafting and the climbing and bring other vets with me. And then, we support them, but it kind of takes that individual to spearhead it.
So
That's I guess real quick. So, it's the plus side and downside of being, an all volunteer organization. And while we're a nonprofit, whether from executive director, founders, whatever, none of us are compensated, and we never have been. So everything that is contributed to AFF goes 100% to our programs. So there's, when you talk about it, it's like there's no salaries to pay, there's no compensation. It's, so we depend on those people who want to stand up and take a leadership role, just like they did in the military, to keep these programs going.
Right. So what's the process like if somebody like, say, Al or Rich decided, hey, I want to lead the outdoor program? What's the process like for them to step into that role?
Send Liv a really nice email.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the pieces that I've been working last year quite a bit to streamline kind of our, I don't want to say, like necessarily vetting vets, but a little bit of a process to, what's your interest in AFF? Why are you coming on board? What's your commitment level? Not because we don't want to support every veteran that comes along, but we certainly have had people come through the program who have not done our reputation favors at certain matches because they maybe came with an attitude of, oh, well, what can I get out of it? And then they go to the match with that. Like, also, I'm also here for more handouts. I'm sponsored, and then it makes us look bad. So not that we do a very stringent, it's a very simple application for the shooting team right now that we have set up, but I think we're going to start. And I know the softball team has something similar. But kind of just why are you here and are you willing to represent us well? And here's the agreement we want you to kind of buy into. But it would be similar in leadership. It's like, well, what's your availability look like? How much can you do realistically, and where does that get us? And so just having that conversation. But we're pretty open.
Yeah, and Dave, one of the things I guess, so when we organized AFF, we built everything in cycles. So every executive director has a term limit, but also so do our board members. So the good thing about 2024 is this is the cycle that about half of our board turns over. So if you've got listeners who are interested in becoming board members, we'd love to visit with you. And our board members rotate on and off. They always have the option to stay if they want a little longer, but we believe in fresh ideal and fresh people. So board applications are open, and if anyone's interested, certainly reach out to them for a leadership role in American Freedom Fund.
And they can reach out to you guys via your website or any pretty much any social media platform out there. They can just message and you guys will get back to them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's the beauty of being an all volunteer, very short staffed organization is we'll all get eyes on it right away. And
you get leadership fast.
Yeah.
That's like the private group I got for Homefront Sit Rep. I don't know who's controlling the Facebook page for AFF, but they joined the private group. So I was talking to them. So I was like, all right. They responded. Whoever it was responded pretty quickly. So I was like, all right, cool. So I thought that was pretty neat. So yeah, you go to AmericanFreedomFund.org and you can go on there and you can hit contact and send Miss Liv a message, and she'll get back to you, especially if you're interested in leading any kind of program, whether it be fishing or hunting. There's all kinds of programs that you could start as long as you're willing to put the time in for it. And
that hunting and fishing side is something that we were looking at incorporating into the outdoors program, and just kind of as we went into COVID and it fizzled out. But we did do some turkey hunting last year. One of our sponsors, Burris Optics, sent us some sites and things that I know the guys were using to do some turkey hunting, and we have some archery hunters that have been out there. And so yeah, just finding kind of that person to help coordinate it is really the key there. But absolutely, and we've been talking to a kayaking group as well. Not kayak, they're actually canoes, and I'm trying to remember the name of the organization, but doing some partnering with this veterans canoe organization that I think would be pretty
yeah,
neat.
that'd be pretty neat. And maybe do some more whitewater rafting, some canoeing. I think it'd be pretty neat. Now, so if there's an organization out there, let's say like Camp Hero, Kentucky, which is I want to say he was a Navy veteran, then he turned law enforcement. Now he's doing a nonprofit called Camp Hero, Kentucky. Now he brings veterans to his place. He's got over 3,000 acres in Kentucky that he takes people hunting, fishing. They do some kayaking and stuff like that. If he wanted to say like come on as a volunteer board member and then start a hunt and fishing program on his property, is that something that AFF would be willing to talk with?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's kind of the path we had started down when the shooting team launched, because we were working in conjunction with actually, and Dawn, we should talk about this, with a dude ranch that then had thousands of acres that we had a long range a shooting range on. And so there was multiple facets going on when it first took off, and several of those things kind of fell to the wayside, and we just kind of focused more on the long range shooting. But they were doing guided hunts and they were doing things like that. So yeah, for sure, whether they're a nonprofit like you're talking about, or a private business, because I know we've worked a little bit with it. Was it Whitetail Outfitters, I think, and some other ones. Absolutely, we'd love to talk to them.
Awesome. Yeah. So the good thing about doing the podcast, I've been doing it a year, so I've met all these different veteran service organizations that are out there from across the country. I got some good ones coming up that could be right up the alley. Like we got Warriors Next Adventure coming up soon, and they have jiu-jitsu program. They help veterans start LLCs, nonprofits. They got a whole plethora of things that they do for Warriors Next Adventure. So, I'm all about spreading the wealth. and connecting people where they need to be connected at. Like I was explaining earlier with the veterans villages, what they do up in Pennsylvania, they created that veterans village with 47 units. Well, they're looking to expand into other areas of the country. Well, I got them connected with Lady Vets Connect, who has they have 8 acres already that has a school that's been converted, and I think it houses like 12 female veterans up there. And they're looking to expand on that and create a village there for female veterans and their kids, because right now they can't house kids. So uh, Candace right here, she can tell you networking at its best. Candace just recently moved up to uh, outside of Boston. She was the community ambassador for Mission Barbecue. So I miss her being here because she's sometimes my co-host with me, and she's got a Rolodex of people as well. She can tell you we kind of bounce off each other sometimes. So
Hey, Candace, we do a military polo event every year up in Boston. So next time I'm up in town, I'll hit you up and you can come watch us hit some balls.
I think her, and now she's one of my buddies from the Marine Corps, Danny Robinson. That's where she's at now, and he needs some help. Literally, he needs some help. He's dealing with his issues, and I'm trying to help him from afar, but she's up there helping him, with him. So we're just he definitely he would probably like it going to go see a polo match. I think he would.
Yeah, so we play up there. We usually have there's a tournament we play every year that up in Boston. It's an all military tournament. So yeah, we'll keep you posted.
So we were talking with like Triple Threat and Misfit Nation and the other veteran podcasters, Adam, talking about coming up to DC, coming up for the M3 next year, 2024. So let's talk about M3, how it's one of the biggest galas and events in the Christmas time up in DC. Let's talk about that a little bit.
It really is. It's such a spectacular thing. No, it is a great time. For sure. Like it is just to be there in the city at Christmas time, but to have so many great people in the room. It's just, man, what a fantastic evening. And we've been doing it at the Mayflower the last 2 years, right, Don? I think. Yes. Moved around a little bit, but just seeing the caliber of people who show up and you get to connect with is fantastic. And we're able to present our awards, and we're kind of streamlining that process as well. That's another thing that we're looking at this year, is really kind of, times change in the veteran community, especially the nonprofit world, but the veteran community overall changes and evolves. And so kind of looking at the awards that we've done over the years and kind of revamping some of them, and we're going to be adding a new award this year. We're taking a couple of them out of the mix that just maybe aren't quite as appropriate, or just not as applicable as they used to be a few years ago. But yeah, it's exciting to kind of see the award program change and grow. And yeah, M3 is just always a great time.
Yeah, we were there in 2019, I believe, and it was
that was the year of the Kentucky sweeps.
Yeah, the Kentucky takeover, and we weren't at the Mayflower. I forget which venue we were at, but it was a beautiful, beautiful place, and it was a beautiful night. I mean, just for me, I came to DC not thinking I would run into anybody that I knew, like anybody. So I'm sitting at the table upstairs, and there was a sergeant major in the Marine Corps sitting at the table next to me. And I kept staring at him and kept staring at him. I'm like, he looks so familiar. I know that guy. And finally, I got the nerves to go up and talk to him. I said, "Excuse me, Sergeant Major, do I know you?" And he goes, "Well, I'm Sergeant Major Jones." And I was like, "You mean Sergeant Jones?" Because when I first joined the Marine Corps, he was my squad leader. I was like, so real to see somebody that I didn't think I would see. But no, we had a great time. The wife and I were there. We got all glammed up and had a great time. And then luckily the organization I was with, we got the hardware for that Veteran Service Organization of the Year. So that was pretty neat to be recognized for the hard work that we were doing. And I loved it, and you get to see the other veteran service organizations that were there as well. The small businesses like Cruise Custom Flags, they won the small business that year, and he's still doing amazing things with what he's doing there. So
No, it's been awesome. It's been really awesome to see the organizations that we've been working with for years continue to grow. They've introduced us to new organizations. A lot of people don't realize this, but one of the very first small businesses that won an award was a little company called Bottle Breacher, and now, of course, the founder of Bottle Breacher is a U.S. congressman, and
nice.
and so that network just continues to grow. And with Liv and Gabe and all of us, I think that we're going to have an exciting M3 this year. It'll be early December as always, and we always try to mix it up, and we'll be revamping the awards program, and I'm excited. And we had a lot of our sponsors continue to grow, and this year we had a lot of members of Congress show up and their staff. So even though we're still in the rebound from COVID, I think we're on the right path.
No, that's awesome. So tell everybody the list of the awards that you have currently, and then which ones are going away, and then you said something about adding award or two.
Yeah. So this last M3, we gave out our most valuable player award in our AFF sports programs. So there's the MVP award. We had our Distinguished Patriot Award, which usually goes to someone who's really made a meaningful contribution at a high level in the veteran community. We had our we did not do the veteran-owned small business this year, but we did the Veteran Service Organization, Outstanding Veteran Service Organization, and we did I'm missing one.
Legislator of the Year.
Legislator of the Year. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, and we yes, and then we were able to, Gabe and Don both received awards for their time as executive director with the program. And yeah. And then this year we'll be doing all of those. So we'll have our Distinguished Patriot, our MVP, Legislator of the Year, Outstanding Veteran Service Organization, and then we're going to be adding Veteran Podcast of the Year.
Nice.
So,
I don't know who came up with that idea. Don, did you come up with that idea, Don?
As they say in Iraq, voila month.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. So how would somebody, as a podcaster or somebody who knows a lot of podcasters, how would they go about nominating a fellow, veteran service organization, fellow podcaster, so forth?
We shoot to get our nominations, the forms that you can do online, up usually towards the end of summer, early fall, so that we've got a few months to kind of collect those nominations. So you'll see that online. We'll push it out on our social media when those nominations are open, and you can start submitting service organizations, MVPs for people in the program, Legislator of the Year and Distinguished Patriot, and then of course the podcast nominees. So that will, like I said, open up probably early fall on our website, and we'll push that out as soon as it's ready to go.
Now, will that be the Join M3 website, or will that be the AFF website?
Yep, it's the Join M3 kind of reroutes to a page on the AFF, so you can get there either way. But the Join M3 is really easy to remember, so it'll take you straight there, and there will be a link to the awards, but you can access it through our main website as well.
Awesome. Now, Al said that there's a guy. I meant to bring this up a little bit ago. He said there is an Army vet that does bird hunting for vets with the inner city youth. His name is Brandon Thompson. He is I'm assuming an awesome guy. Y'all should look him up. So I'm assuming that might be maybe run a program or something, maybe doing, bird hunting and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Where is he out of, Albert?
He says he's in Florida. The guy's in Florida. So bird hunting down in Florida.
Okay. Yeah, I recently connected with a former Green Beret who also does veteran sport fishing out of Florida. And so we've been in talks about kind of partnering up. And I think kind of like you were saying earlier, to the mindset that the veteran nonprofit, there are so many veteran nonprofits, right? And I think they're I've seen in the past almost a competition and like there isn't enough to go around or anything, but just always remembering it really is a one team, one fight, and we're all after the same thing. And being able to partner with these other organizations rather than reinvent the wheel. We don't have to have our own sport fishing program or bird hunting program. If there's something already going, we want to partner and support what's happening. I had a really good conversation with one of the guys that had been involved with Heroes Sports, which is they're no longer functioning in the same. They've kind of fractured and they're doing different things now. But just kind of having that conversation about how we could partner to accomplish the missions without having to recreate everything and support each other instead of competing. And I think that's
Right.
really important.
Well, unfortunately, in the realm of veteran service organizations, a lot of them out there, like you said, they don't want to work with somebody else. They want to focus on their veterans, and that's what they say. These are my veterans. How dare you take them? And for me, I'll tell you, with Al and Rich, that's something that we talk about on a constant basis. Is for us to succeed in ending veteran homelessness and ending that 22 a day, or I say 22 a day, but it's more like 44 a day. Ending that, we have to work together. And if you're not willing, to work with another organization to help serve the veteran community, then you're not doing it for the right reason. And the good thing about AFF, when I first met Don, that was one of the things that he said, that he's willing to partner with anybody as long as they're doing it for the right reason. So, and that's why me and Don, we kind of hit it off from day one. And I got his back, like when he was down here, taking care of some personal things down here in Kentucky. He reached out to me, and just out of the spur of my head, I was like, "Hey, have you thought about this place?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So, and that's what it's all about, is helping each other. And if you can't do that, then you're not doing it for the right reason. So,
Yep,
So,
exactly.
so Dave, while we got you online, because Liv has brought this up more than once, we would love to do an AFF shooting event out at Knob Creek.
well, I will see what I can do to make that happen. Now, their range is not super long,
It's
so it
super
wouldn't be
fun.
but it would be super fun. You are
Yeah.
correct. I will reach out tomorrow and see what we can do. I know they haven't really had any shoots lately at Knob Creek, but we can see what we can do. And JR, he can help me out with that. JR, that's your mission, JR. We're going to reach out to Knob Creek and see what they're doing. If not, I'll find another range close by.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'd love to do something back home. There's I have a couple of polo events in Kentucky in the late summer. So, but it'd be kind of fun. Like Liv has mentioned Knob Creek to me more than once. So I think it'd be really cool. And anytime I get a chance to bring people back home to the Commonwealth, I love doing that.
oh yeah.
Liv got to see Kentucky for the first time last May, and thankfully she wants to come back. So we didn't
It
embarrass.
was a treat. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Now, where did you go when you came? What part of Kentucky did you see?
Louisville.
Okay, so you brought her to Louisville.
Yeah.
Okay.
We made it as far as downtown and Churchill Downs.
Okay. Well, you didn't even get to see God's country of Kentucky, though. You just saw the city.
Well, after enough bourbon, it was all God's country.
True. Yeah, there's plenty of bourbon to go around. That is for sure. So,
Yeah, the Knob Creek thing would be awesome. I don't know what their format usually is, but I know we've been trying to branch out into kind of the 3-gun shoot thing where you do, pistol, rifle, shotgun all in one, and something like that would be awesome. We don't need a super long range for that. We are probably going to replicate what we're doing in Spokane. We'll be doing a similar event later this fall in probably southern Oklahoma or northern Texas. We're working with a few different people to find a good range to do that down there too. So.
awesome. Now, the good thing about Knob Creek is if they're still up and operating, you can actually rent guns there. So
Nice.
if a veteran,
Mhm.
if a veteran doesn't have firearms, they can go to Knob Creek and rent them there. So there's also another indoor range. I know that indoor ranges are a little bit different, but um, what the heck's the name of it? It's escaping me, but they're very veteran friendly. We had some stuff going on with them a while back, and they would let veterans come in, shoot for free. The only thing the veteran had to do was pay for the ammo.
Nice.
So that they could rent the guns for free. All they had to do was pay for the ammo. So
That's
I'll
very
look and
cool.
see. I think it's called the Armory. I think it's what the name of it was
Yeah.
called, the Armory. Yeah, the Louisville Armory. Jr. You're right. Um, and
By the
it's an
way,
indoor range. They do so. They have one. So there's 3 bays. Or 2 bays. One bay set up for like Western shooting. They also have like a little target, like you go down range and shoot targets that way too. So yeah, we can definitely do that, and we can look into definitely Knob Creek for sure. Um, like I said, I couldn't tell you if they're operating because I think something happened a while back. I
okay.
know they don't have the machine gun shoot anymore because of legality reasons. But they might still be, shooting, just privately or whatever. So I'll reach out to them tomorrow, and I will send you guys an email and let you know what I find out.
That's
By
So
the way,
fantastic.
Julie, I always show Kentucky love. You know where that's where my heart belongs. I may live up here in D.C., but you know my heart's in the Commonwealth every day.
yeah, yeah. DB is a Kentucky boy through and through, always showing Kentucky love. Of course, that's my beautiful bride there. I'm glad.
Oh, I
Thank
know
you.
who that is.
Uh, so 2024 AFF has a lot of things going. So if you want to reach out, if you want to volunteer, go to aff.org. Um, Click up there where it says contact, reach out to them, say, hey, I got this ideal, or I want to volunteer here. They will gladly take you under the fold as long as you're doing it for the right reason. Um, and as long as you got the time and patience to do it, they will take care of you. So,
Hey, one thing too, if you get a chance, go to on our website. There's a tab called Buy American. Liv's done a phenomenal job on our merchandising, and she worked with actually the actual artist in Ukraine who took the famous photo of the tank, and you'll see the T-shirt that was created off of it. And I believe they created a print, didn't they, Liv, that we still have? Or
Yeah, we're still working on that. Trying to get it to him. He's in Ukraine, so get it to him to sign and get it back. But yeah,
nice.
yeah,
That's awesome. No, I love
yeah.
it. So there's a company in Texas. It's called sameflagsameoath.com. They make shirts. I don't know if you guys want to come up with a co-branded shirt for your shooting team or something of that nature. But Matt Johnson and his wife Becky are the owners. He's a Navy veteran. They do amazing work with the shirts and with the co-branding. So basically, you would have like the same flag, same oath on this side, your logo on this side, and then all the money that was, all the shirts that are made and sold on the website at the end of the year, they would cut you a check for, your proceeds of that. So
we've done that in the past with other organizations and love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that a lot. You know, we've done it with Nine Line. We've done it with so many organizations. We're that's awesome.
Yep.
and they're small time. They're not Grunt Style or Nine Line, and
But
I think they would make great AFF shirts. So
the one cool
Yeah.
thing it might be for them is, and Dave, you remember this, we usually have giveaway T-shirts for M3.
yeah,
And this year we actually set up a merchandising booth at M3 that was surprisingly successful. So, we could do something throughout the year and then have a big, a blowout to get rid of whatever merchandise we have remaining at M3. Have them
nice.
come and participate with us. You can get a hoodie and a bottle of bourbon all at the same time.
Yeah. I still have. I didn't wear them tonight, but when we were there, the swag bags that y'all gave out.
Yeah.
So the shirt that I got was too small. So my daughters took the 2 shirts because Julie got a bag and I got one. They took the shirts, and then the Patriot socks that were in there. They were black with the American flag and stuff on them.
Yeah.
I wear them all the time. I was going to wear them tonight, but I forgot. But no, I will. So what I'll do, Liv, is I'll get send an email with Matt and you and Don in there with the shirt company with Matt and Becky, and see what we can do. To do some co-branding and stuff like that with AFF and his company.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
So Julie just put the link in the website or in the comments there.
Awesome.
So it's right here. It's got your sixculture.com, or you can go to sameflagsameoath.com. And we are actually in the process of doing a co-branded shirt with Homefront Sit Rep and them, and it's
Nice.
going to, on the front it's going to say "Marine It Down," and it's going to be written in red crown. So,
Make
um,
sure you do at least make sure you do the R backwards.
oh, that would be cool. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, but I like the fact that he found a red crown font
Yeah.
or a crown font to write it in. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, we got to do it. So,
Yeah, but if you're gonna do it, you gotta do like the red backwards or something, just or just something to make it look like it was written by a Marine.
oh, come on now. Some of the best guys I know were Marines.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I would, it wasn't more than once when I was downrange, I wore a Marine uniform. So, I'm all for it.
So Al was Navy, and he also did time with the Marines as well. So you and Al probably have a lot in common, Mr. DB. Look, the Julie here, she's already. You're fired, Julie. You're fired. But no,
But bottom line here, Dave, is what makes all this work. We all got to collaborate, and I think that's what a lot of VSOs really forget is it's not a competition. It's about building a family, and you've heard me use the right word tribe more than once.
yes,
It's
sir.
about building a tribe, and I really in DC we see it because there's a ton of VSOs here in Washington, and they get really, I mean, just to be blunt, they get pissy when they think you're competing, and AFF has never been a competitor. We're a partner, and
Right.
I wish people would get over and realize, like, yeah, there's it's reality. There's only so much sponsored dollars out there, but that's not what it's about in the end. And we never started AFF to be a competition. We just wanted to give back, and that's
No,
why where all Gabe, Rob, myself, if you go back to the original history, Gabe was playing veteran softball and they had no leadership, and so we decided, well, how can we fix that? So we created leadership. Bramer Group, my firm, wanted to recognize veteran organizations. Rob was doing stuff with other VSOs, and it's like these small groups were floundering because they didn't understand leadership, they didn't understand business, and they didn't understand structure. And that's why AFF was created, to give that that bottom line foundation for organizations to survive and not compete. And I'm happy that as the organization keeps growing, because a lot of VSOs, as they mature and get older, they go away. And we designed this in such a way that we can transition leadership, but we still survive. And I applaud Liv for stepping up to the plate.
No, I'm thankful that Miss Liv did step up to the plate and take the role of executive director. That's amazing, and
And she's
I love
much
how.
younger than we are, and so face it, I'm getting old and I need to step away.
Well, you're ready to retire and go to Barbados. I already know what your plan is. But no, I love how when you guys first founded AFF, how you set it up where every 2 years you would rotate positions and so forth. Because what happens, a lot of organizations out there when they're founded, the CEO, the founder, gets a big head and they lose focus of what they're doing and the main reason why they did it. Especially when an organization starts bringing in hundreds and thousands of dollars and they just lose track of why they did it. And I'm so glad that AFF has stayed true to the original mission and continue to thrive, even though you change leadership every 2 years.
Yeah,
I mean that's amazing.
Yeah, well, I think the flip side of that, doing well and kind of getting stuck in that rut is the struggling. And we struggled through COVID, and what I've seen in especially smaller organizations like American Freedom Fund is burnout. And if you aren't giving each other kind of that reprieve to step back, and when it is constantly okay, how are we going to do this? What's next? How do we skate to the puck and take care of our guys on on the softball field or on the range or wherever they are? So just being able to kind of fall in behind and like, okay, it's my turn now. Who's going to step up next and keep
Right.
this thing going? Because we aren't seeing, hundreds of thousands of dollars rolling in. Nobody's head in our organization is getting big yet. I mean, will
Right.
they yet? There's still, who knows? But
Well,
I think it's just important to be there and be ready to step up next.
well, I burnout, like Julie just says, burnout is absolutely real, and volunteering is very difficult when it comes to
It is.
volunteering, especially if you have like a day job. Like, so I work for AT&T. That's my main job. And then when I was volunteering, I went to every event that I could go to, and it was, it was a struggle on my wife and kids. And my wife was like, well, you need to be home with us. And I'm like, well, I need to be at this veterans event. And I did get a little burned out on it. But then, my focus of doing volunteering is because of my PTS, my night terrors that I have. If I wasn't volunteering, then, my PTS was more severe.
Right.
So that's why I do this podcast. Luckily I'm at home. I mean, I'm doing it down in my basement. My wife and kids are upstairs, and you can see that she's on here watching me and supporting me. And this helps me doing this, and with me talking with different organizations from around the country that are out actually doing great things out there, and I get to connect them with this person or this person, and see that connection take form. That's kind of like with the tip of the spear. That was a brainchild of mine, and I brought Triple Threat and Misfit Nation and Adam's podcast, The Decision Hour. I brought them on, and there's a Louisville Metro police officer, Dexter Pitts. He's also an author. Brought him on, so it's us. That's the core five of us, and we started the tip of the spear, and we talk about current events, and then we talk about what's going on globally, and it's growing.
Hey, so section for today before we wrap up for the night. Have you all ever done a podcast from a remote location?
Yes, I have.
That's something we should look at, whether it's, and I'd love to invite you out, not only to want to live shooting events to broadcast live, or even when we do one of the military polo events, and you get to talk to the guys who are riding and playing. So 2 open invitations, whether it's Virginia or wherever. We'd love to have you out, do something remote, and meet some of the vets, whether they're pulling the trigger or pulling back on the reins.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to. Heck, I'd love to pull the trigger myself. I'd bring my 308 with me. So, I would definitely be an honor to
You
do
jump
that.
and pull the trigger before you jump and pull the reins. You got a little horse phobia here, or what?
No, I love horses too. So,
All right.
either way, I'm good.
Good.
I don't know.
We'd actually love that. And as we talk about podcasts of the year, one thing to wrap up is, for all your other partners out there doing podcasts, here's an open invitation to, if you can't get me, let's get Liv out there and let her spread the word of what AFF is doing, and welcome her as AFF's new executive director.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Liv, we definitely appreciate everything that you're doing, and continuing the mission of the people before you. And I'm excited about it. Now, Dawn, November, we're going to do a veteran suicide prevention concert. It starts at noon. It ends at midnight. We're going to have several local artists, and then bands working all the way up to our headliner, which will be Dark Side of the Wall, which is a Pink Floyd tribute band. They are the number 2 Pink Floyd tribute band in the world. They're going to be our headliner, and they're doing it for free. So I'm excited about that. If you guys want to come and hang out for that.
Hey, send us graphics, and we will promote it across the board on AFF.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I will do that. I will do that. And then, yeah, Liv, I'll get with you. And what we could probably wind up doing is we could do a tip of the spear podcast at one of the shooting events or one of the polo events. I'm sure Al, he's on here. He's already said he'll be there. He'll do it. So
Right on.
we can make that happen. I'm sure we
Yeah.
can. So,
That'd be fantastic.
and then
if we were going to have a Journey tribute band or an ACDC, that would be even hotter.
I mean, we can work on it. We can work on it. So Mount Washington, where I live, right outside of Louisville, they had the summer concert series at the amphitheater. They had Journey, they had Heart, they had a Garth Brooks one, which was No Fences. So they bring in every other Friday. They have different bands.
That's cool.
So And then my wife here, she said this. I meant to put this on here because we were talking about idle minds and hands don't mix well with vets.
Got to put away groceries.
Yeah. So she's my rock. I don't know where I would be without my wife. So
Hungry.
hungry. Well, I do all the cooking. She would be the one hungry. She would be the one hungry. But no, thank you guys for coming on and spending this time with me tonight. And if you're out there in YouTube world or LinkedIn or Facebook and you want to volunteer with the AFF, like I said earlier, go to or AmericanFreedomFund.org. Or you can go to joinm3.org as well, especially if you want to vote for a veteran podcast out there come late fall or early fall, late summer. You can go out and vote for your favorite veteran podcaster out there. So, yeah. And then we definitely need to talk about getting a table at M3 for some veteran podcasters out there. Because I know Adam said he wants to come. Some of the guys from Triple Threat, Rich LaMonica from the Misfit Nation. So yeah, we definitely need to talk about getting a table up there for us up there at M3. So
we'd love to have you guys. We'd love to have you guys back. Since you guys were here, we have a great band. It goes a little later than it used to, but there's a whole lot of dancing and a whole lot of fun.
No, I love it. I'm excited and I can't wait. So yeah, and so Liv, I'll get you connected with Al via text or email. That way he can get you scheduled for the Triple Threat vet, and then I'll also do the same thing with Rich if he's still here with his show. He's he's actually a civilian contractor at Fort Campbell, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but technically in Tennessee in Clarksville. So I'll get you guys connected. So.
Perfect. That sounds great.
That way we can get you out there and what AFF is doing. So I think that'll be amazing for you. And then there's other veteran podcasters as well. And as I think about them, I'll get you connected as well. Awesome. DB, did you get my email where I sent you about Michelle Black?
I did. Sorry. We're in the middle of NDA, National Defense Authorization cycle right now. So we're in legislation nightmare. So if I'm slow to respond to anything, it's because I have probably had more hours on the Hill in the past 2 weeks than I've had in the past year.
Okay.
So I did see it. I have not responded, but if you, give her my number to start, shoot me a text.
Okay, I will do. I will. Yeah, she's coming to DC soon. And to do so, she started a nonprofit as well for fallen soldier or fallen military members' kids, because there's not organizations out there that focus on the kids. So, she's a Gold Star widow. Her husband died, the Taliban. There was a video, and it was. She wrote a book called Sacrifices. I forget the rest of the title, and she's coming to DC to do some lobbying, and I'm like, well, hey, I know a perfect guy for you and his group. So,
and I'll introduce you guys who lead the MEF Military Equestrian Foundation. Maybe you can get those guys on for you as well. They
awesome.
They brought me in and brought me into the fold, and sadly they put me to work. But it's been a lot of fun. So we'll get those guys on. I guess before we wrap up, thank you for all you do. Thank you, Julie, for all the support you get. You, David. I've been blessed to call you guys friends. And, and while some of our, some organizations come and go, I'm glad we were able to maintain our strong bond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She said it earlier that you were our homegrown family is what she said. That's how she put it earlier. So
bless you for saying that, Julie.
So
if you ever get bored of putting away groceries, I have a pile downstairs right now.
Yeah, actually, I think the kids and her might be doing it. I don't know. But Liv, it was a pleasure meeting you tonight, and I look forward to our continued friendship, just like me and DB, how we built our friendship, and bring you into the fold of my family, because my family, I got 2 daughters, 17 and 15. Both of them plan on going into the military. That's the plan. So we're going to bring you into our fold, just like we did with DB and AFF, and I can't wait to see what direction you take AFF in 2024 and 25. So
excellent. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot.
So before I let you go, Liv, how can they get a hold of you if they wanted to get a hold of you?
Like you said, AmericanFreedomFund.org is our website. There's a contact button on there. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. Any of the contact buttons on our socials will get directly to myself or Dawn or Gabe, and you should hear back from us quickly. So we're pretty easy to access.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again, and bless you. And I can't wait to see what 2024 holds.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
How cool was that? Everybody knows Don. I've had him on. I think this makes number 4, the having Don on, and to meet Liv and see her passion for what she's doing for veterans and her continued mission that she's got with her shooting team and stuff like that. It's just simply amazing. And like she said, if you want to reach out to AFF, American Freedom Fund, go to AmericanFreedomFund.org or joinm3.org. Volunteer if you're out there and you want to do, whitewater rafting, and that's a program that you love doing and you want to make it a program. Reach out to them and talk to them. They're down to earth, and they'll definitely take care of you. So let's pay the bills real quick. I'm going to bring on my sponsors videos, talenttalents.com, Louisville Local Entertainment, Got Your Six, Same Flag, Same Oath.com if you're looking for t-shirts, and then also Veteran Mortgages Solutions. So stand by if I can find it.
Owner of Talon Talents here, and I just want to say that we are ecstatic to be a major sponsor of Homefront SITREP, a community that is ran by veterans and made for veterans. So thank you for tuning in. Talon Talents was formed in order to create a music scene that was together in the form of a collective, so that no one has to do everything on their own. And guess what? We've been doing this for free for over a year. So please go and check out Talon Talents through Facebook or through our official website at www.talontalents.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in to Homefront SITREP, a veteran-owned and operated podcast just for you.
My name's Rick Ames. I own Louisville Local Entertainment, a company for music shows, promotions, and bookings in the Louisville music scene. As a veteran, it's my honor to support and sponsor local veteran-owned businesses such as Homefront SITREP, made by veterans for veterans. So if you're in the music business and need some help booking or promoting a show for free, look me up, Louisville Local Entertainment. And thanks for tuning in to Homefront SITREP.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Hey guys, Mac Verdi here with Veteran Mortgage Solutions. As rates are dropping, home values are going to start to go up. It's time to start looking if you're looking to purchase a home. That being said, we are an all-military veteran loan officer team. We know the ins and outs of the VA home loan. We are considered the experts in this field. Give us a call today. Go to our website, veteranmortgagesolutions.com. Fill out my quick form. I'll give you $500 off for closing costs. Have a great day.
So yeah, if you're out there, you're looking to book a show, if you're a musician, promoter, venue, reach out to talenttalents.com, either via the website or their Facebook page, or you can look at Louisville Local Entertainment if you're looking for, booking a gig in the Louisville area or surrounding area. Check out my buddy Rick Ames and Louisville Local Entertainment. If you want a shirt, you run a nonprofit out there and you want to do a co-branded shirt, check out sameflagsameoath.com. Check those guys out, Matt and Becky. They do amazing work, and the quality of the shirt's amazing as well. I've wore a couple of their shirts on the podcast myself, and very comfortable. This is grunt style that I'm wearing here, and I would say that the Same Flag Same Oath shirts are actually a little bit more comfortable. They're not as thick as the grunt style shirts, but they're very, very comfortable and very well done. And then if you're a veteran, you're looking to buy a house, check out Veteran Mortgage Solutions. They can help you and answer any questions you got. So definitely check them out. And then, like I said, thanks for Don and Liv for coming on tonight and talking about AFF and what they got coming up with the M3, the shooting team, the military equestrian that they do with the polo and everything that they do. Lord have mercy, that they are. Yeah, so my wife loves them as well. They have some amazing shirts. And like I said, if you're a nonprofit and you want to do a co-branded shirt, and what they'll do is they'll put it on their website. You don't have to have any of the hassle with making the shirt, shipping it, or anything. They take care of that for you. At the end of the year, they cut you one big check for however many shirts were sold or whatever, and that's basically a fundraiser for you. You just have people go buy the shirts from their website. Matt and Becky would love to help you design a shirt. Becky is an amazing artist. She's got a very creative mind. Not so much Matt, but Becky, she's got a creative mind, and she will take care of you and bring your imagination to life on a shirt. She's making a couple shirts for me, the Marine It Down one, which I can't wait to get. And then we're working on another one for Dr. Teresa Larson. So yeah, definitely check them out. And then, like I said, if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate, go to AmericanFreedomFund.org and either contact them or donate. AFF has always been true to the mission of wanting to collab with other veteran service organizations out there. Why like Liv said, why reinvent the wheel? So reach out to them. They will definitely take care of you. If you're a veteran service organization out there and you want to come on the podcast, reach out to me at Homefront Sit Rep, homefrontsitrep@gmail.com. Or you can find us on our Facebook page, our public page, or our private group. Or you can just, give me a call, 502-435-3515. Reach out to me. My phone's always open. Reach out to me, and if you need anything. And like I always say out there, guys, ask that next hard question. If you go up to somebody and you say, "How you doing?" and they look at you and they say, "Well, I'm fine." Look at them straight in the eyes and say, "How are you really doing?" Ask that next hard question. And my buddy Al, I don't know if he's still on here or not, but his little catchphrase, if he's in here, he'll put it up. But yeah, definitely, pay attention, look around, ask that next hard question, and help everybody. One veteran a day is all it takes, or one human. Don't even have to be a veteran. Just go out and help somebody. And if you notice they're having a bad day, be kind. Go out there and help them. and say, hey, how can I help you today? That's all it takes. Just be kind. That's what we need in this world. And, you just got to be a human and be a great human. So yeah, definitely. And like I always say, be safe out there. I got your 6. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.